All right, guys, what's up? I'm back again, and we're gonna continue on for this Q&A thingy. Bloody hell, mate! Look at this. We got so many more questions to get through. Putting on my Aussie accent there, guys. Alrighty, anyways, let's get back on track. So last time I left off, we were talking about genres of music that I like, and I said that I like Michael Jackson, and I do. He's awesome, absolute the master. In fact, no, I'll leave it for another commentary. Who cares? Okay. But another huge genre of music that I like is video game music. So like music from games, mainly RPG games. So like, I suppose like you could say Final Fantasy or Zelda or like Xenoblade. In fact, my all-time favorite soundtrack would have to be the Xenoblade soundtrack. And if you've never heard of Xenoblade, then man, you guys are missing out because like Xenoblade is really good. It's a really good RPG that came out on Wii. I think in the like end of last year, actually, in like the US, but a little earlier in Europe, probably at the beginning of last year, actually in Europe and Australia. And yeah, it's got the best soundtrack probably of all time for like a video game, you know. But yeah, I really like all the Final Fantasy stuff. So like from Final Fantasy 7 onwards. So Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9 mainly. And well, almost anything else that's from Nobuo Uematsu, which is the composer of all the Final Fantasy soundtracks. So yeah, mainly video game stuff. And the reason I like video game stuff, I think, is because um when you listen to video game music, you like you remember what was happening in the game. You get the same sort of emotions and feelings as when you're playing through the game and when that song was being played. So the music sort of reminds you of the story or what was happening in the game at the time. And so if it was a good emotion, if it was something that you liked, then by listening to the music, you automatically are reminded of that, and so then you sort of like the music. It sort of rubs off on the music, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but like that's sort of the reason why I like all the video game music. Like not all of them, but some of them. And some of them are just genuinely like cool songs. They just sound really good. I don't know. They just sound different. And sometimes for me at least, I don't like the lyrics. Like sometimes I just like instrumental because I don't want to hear like someone singing or talking because sometimes that can get annoying. Whereas just the tune or like the rhythm or whatever of a song, I can sort of latch onto and I really like. So yeah, mainly video game music, but lots of stuff like Michael Jackson. He touched in everything. He touched in like R&B, pop, rock, everything except for sort of heavy metal, I guess. But there's even some heavy metal stuff that I like. So yeah, I like a little bit from everything. All right. What do you like most about Australia? About Australia. I tell you what I like most about Australia. I had to think about this one for a while. I would say the thing I like most is the government, and I know that's weird. Okay. I know like most people when they talk about like a government, it's usually negative. They're like, man, I hate that freaking politician, or I hate our president, or whatever. He did this or he did that. But no, I really like what like the government over the years have done for Australia. Like we have like one of the best, if not the best, standard of living in the world. We have a free healthcare system to anyone who is low income and anyone below the age of 16. We have the way the government uses our taxes and stuff, and the way that they've like managed all of our resources is world class. It's really well thought out. Everything has been like planned. There's no corruption, or there's very little corruption. I suppose you can't ever say that there's none, but the like it's good. It's genuine. It's all sort of there are hierarchies in place so that if anyone tries to become corrupt or whatever, then there's always someone above them that will pick up on it, and that will sort of dob them in or whatever. Even our prime minister has, the I can't remember the name now. It's some sort of like an ambassador from the Queen of England or something that looks over her. So even our prime minister, so to speak, has a boss. Is under someone else. So it's a really really good system. It works really well, and I think really they're responsible for what Australia is today, and I thank them for it, and I really respect them for it. And I think that's the best thing about our country. You know, I could have spoken about like the environment and, you know, the beaches and all that kind of stuff, which is what I've been sort of going on a bit about lately. But that's not really what makes Australia what it is. It's the government. So, yeah, let's move on. What's your favorite food? I knew this one would come up. It's obvious, you know, it always comes up. And I had to think about this one, and I've actually got written down here, ravioli and cheese mornay sauce. But on second thought, oh, sorry, probably should edit that out. On second thought, you know, I'm going to have to go with the tried and true pizza. I know that's like a cliche, and everyone says pizza, but think about it, right? If you just generalize it and say pizza instead of saying, you know, cheese pizza with bacon and tomato or whatever, if you just say pizza, you know, you pretty much are covering a really huge, like pretty much all your bases. Like you're covering a huge diversity of possibilities. Like think about how many combinations of pizzas there are. I mean, like you can have so many different combinations, and that's what I like so much about it. You know, if you don't like one combination, then chances are if you take off a topping or two, then you'll like it. So pizza's so like diverse, I suppose. It's so varied, and it caters for everyone. So I'd have to go with pizza. I spoke in the last commentary about what makes a player good. And you'll notice in this gameplay, there's a guy called JD 4-star. And for a little while, I was actually considering him, I don't know why, as my candidate for one of the best players I've seen in Black Ops 2. And he's in this match. But you know what? He's actually really not that good. When I went back and watched him, he's got a really good kill death. It's like 2.6 or so. It's pretty crazy. But he's actually really bad. Like, he just camps and he just uses like regular guns and stuff. Anyway, I don't want to... Oh man, this turned into like a freaking... like a abusive commentary. That wasn't my intention. But I just wanted to say, like, you know, kill death is not an indicator of a good player. And perhaps I'll spend a bit more time on other commentary actually like exploring that idea and that topic in the future. But okay, that's where we're off today, or at the moment. We'll move on to the next one, which is what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Interesting. I'll see you guys then. See ya.